находимся в линии Рупаноги, это все правда. Однако, Саната Госвами Прабху считается лидером, наиболее старшим.
He also considers himself Rupanuga, but Rupa Goswami is giving that sort of reverence to Sanatana Goswami Prabhu. And he is described as the Sambandha Gyana Acharya. Right, we have Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayoja, and Raghunath Das Goswami, the Prayojan Tattva Acharya, telling us that our ultimate necessity is Radha Dasyam, or service of the holy lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. But how to get there from here, Sanatana Goswami Prabhu. Sambandha Gyan, Guru Maharaj said also mean he is the Bhakti Siddhanta Acharya. When I first met Guru Maharaj and he saw that I did not have a structured understanding about Krishna consciousness, he said to me, "Haven't you read Brihad Bhagavatamritam?" And at the time I hadn't. And he said, then you must read this book if you were to understand the gradation of what is superior and deeper and higher, and what position something occupies. And so you'll see in the first book we made, The Search for Sri Krishna, Reality of the Beautiful, we have Guru Maharaj expressing Brihad Bhagavatamritam in a nutshell. Talking about the Brahmin worshipping the Shalagram who goes to South India, to Jagannath Puri, to Indra the King of Heaven, to Brahma, which is Karma Misra Bhakti. Brahma admires Shiva, Jnana Misra Bhakti. Shiva admires Prahlad, which is the beginning of Shuddha Bhakti, pure devotion. Prahlad admires Hanuman, that means Dasya Rasa. Hanuman favors the Pandavas, Sakya Rasa. The Pandavas, the Yadavas, the beginning of Vatsalya Rasa, and the supreme amongst them, Uddhava. So what we'll see very beautifully by Sanatana Goswami Prabhu, you, Banu. Oh, me also. So, if you look at the Brihad Bhagavatamritam, you will see the same thing plays twice, right? And what I mean by that, the first part, it leads all the way up to Uddhava, who, like Guru Maharaj told the Pandit who was a Shrutadar, he knew all 18,000 slokas of the Bhagavatam. Guru Maharaj said to him, so in your opinion, who are the highest devotees? Or that man, and he said, Chatushan, the 4 Kumars. Then he asked Guru Maharaj, in your opinion, who is the highest? And Guru Maharaj said, they are in the lower position. He said the highest, and he used 2 slokas out of the 18,000 to prove his point. So Bhakti Vinod says, Bharabhyahi Saragrahi. One is carrying the burden of shastric knowledge like an ass. Right? The other, the Saragrahi Vaishnav, like a Paramahansa Swan, extracting the most essential things. So in 2 slokas, Guru Maharaj makes his point. And it's the same point that Sanatana Goswami Prabhu makes twice in Brihad Bhagavatamritam, at the end of the first part and at the end of the second part. And so what is it? First, as Guru Maharaj said, from no less than the mouth of Krishna, Natata Priyatama Atmayonirna Shankara Nacha Sankarshana Sri Naivatma Chayatavavan. Krishna saying, Atma Bhu Brahma. It's all shorthand, condensed. Atma Bhu Brahma, he's not as dear to me. Who's above him? Shankar, same gradation. See the same gradation. Sankarshan, my own brother. Shri, Goddess Lakshmi. He said, no one is as dear to me as you are, my dear Uddhava. So, if Krishna, he should be the authority on devotion to Krishna. Krishna is saying, you're it. You're the supreme devotee. You're more dear to me than I am to my very self. That's first sloka, right? Then, what say you, Uddhava? After they get in that Dharma assembly and find Uddhava on the other side in the midst of all the devotees, what does he say? After all this certification, endorsement, what comes from the mouth of Uddhava? Asamaho charanarenu jushamahangshang Brindavane kimapi gumalatosadinam Yadushtadam swajanam arja patam jahitva Bejur mukunda parivim shruti birvimrigyam. He's saying, I would like to be a blade of grass in the soil of Vrindavan. Why? Right. When we have all the imitationists, voyeuristic, wannabes, they're voyeuristically envisioning themselves as super servitors. But the super servitor Uddhava said, I want to be a blade of grass in Vrindavan. Why? He's saying, because those gopis, if I begged them for the dust from their lotus feet, they wouldn't give it to me. So I need to be there in somewhat of a hidden position, concealed. And what if we take it in essence, what is he expressing? He's saying, it's so great, Vrindavan is so wonderful, so high, Radharani and Braja Gopis, an atomic presence in that plane would be sufficient for me. When Srila Prabhupada would explain the Shikshastakam of Mahaprabhu, when he would get to the Padaduli sloka, Ai Nanda Tanunja Kinkaram Patitamam Vishambhe Bhumho, where he's saying, I'm Krishna Kinkar. That means I'm your eternal servant. What happened? What am I doing? How do I find myself in this world? I'm your eternal servant, and now I'm drowning in an ocean of Maya. Please rescue me and Prabhupada would say, and do what? Fix me as one of the atoms of your holy lotus feet. It must be first, if it's to be real, it must be first expressed in this way, as the least possible entrance into that plane. That shows that the aspiring servitor has some appreciation for the world that they're trying to enter into, not to come in some executive position. That it's absurd. Mahaprabhu himself, Uddhava, saying, a blade of grass, the dust, an atom, atomic presence in that soil. Why? Saying because Radharani, Radhadasyam, the service of Radharani and Braja Gopis, they're moving here. Radha Padman Kipadam Vrindavan Jaranam. Vrindavan is that soil, that Chinmoy soil that is embellished by the holy lotus feet of Srimati Radharani, according to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So Uddhava is saying, if you grant me that position, when they're moving in the plane of service to Krishna, some of the dust from their holy lotus feet will come upon my head, thereby I'll be bathed in that dust, and it will consecrate my existence. He says that at the end of the first part of Brihad Bhagavatamritam, and it appears again at the second part. Why? Because it establishes that not only are the Braja Gopis the supreme devotees of Krishna, but their leader, Srimati Radharani, is the greatest devotee of all. So see how beautifully Sanatana Goswami, step by step, incrementally, brings us to the ultimate conclusion, which is what? Then Radha Dasyam, the aspiration to serve her holy lotus feet. So what we have to understand, when we visit all these places, they're not telling something different, actually. There's one thing going on here. There's one current. It's moving in a particular direction. And by the grace of our Guru Varga, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada, we're being given exposure and even through service and entrance into this divine flow. It's a current. It's a current of heart. That is what it's not some intellectualism or some interesting stories to hear. It's a particular flow of heart. Sanatana Goswami Prabhu, Raghunath Das Goswami says, Kripam Buddhi Yat Paraduka Duki. Sanatana Goswami, when he's here and writing Brihad Bhagavatamritam and other, he's in ecstasy non-stop. Right? Gopi Bhava Rasamrita Bilahar. He's drowning in an ocean of Gopi Bhav. So much so that he doesn't need to eat, drink, sleep, just the minimum to maintain his external existence. So much internal relish is there. But in this prayer, very beautifully, Das Goswami said, then what would be the unhappiness for such a person? He's drowning in an ocean of ecstasy endlessly. What? When he sees that other people are wandering in this world without a connection to this divine, that brings some pain. He's saying there's so much nectar, so much beauty to be experienced, and so much flow of heart, and people are suffering for want of a connection with Krishna consciousness. So, and Das Goswami further says, it's hard to believe, but he says it, Vairagya Yug Bhakti Rasa Prayatnai. He's saying, so this nectar that Sanatana Goswami has, I was unwilling to drink it. Sometimes we may find that ourselves in a similar situation in the pursuit of Krishna consciousness. That we're unwilling to drink this nectarine substance. See, but Sanatana Goswami Prabhu, he's so merciful, he made me drink it. Like, what did Guru say? When they met Saraswati Thakur, and he's pounding on the table, his lotus face is flush pink like a beautiful lotus, but a very intense lotus. And Saki Charan Baba said, we weren't sure exactly what he's talking about, but one thing we knew, there was some kind of nectarine substance that he was trying to force us to drink. I said, oh, as Das Goswami praised Sanatana Goswami Prabhu. So here, this temple built for his beautiful deity, Madan-Mohan. And what does that mean in a nutshell? That why it's perfect and why it must be the deity of Sambandhagyan, the first position. What do we learn from Bhakta Freud? That the whole world is under the influence of eros, right? The sexual principle, right? He got that much right, right? What will we hear from Vishwanath tomorrow? Janmadyasya yataha. The erotic principle, that's the origin of everything. The Madhura Rasa of Rajan, that's everything springing from there. Gurma said all other rasas are clients or satellites, but this is the principal thing. But here we are in this world driven mad by Madan, which means Cupid. The mundane erotic tendency. No one can escape that. Saraswati Thakur said, why do we have to talk about this? He said, because you can't avoid it's the principle of existence. You can't eliminate this from your discussion or your realization or understanding. So that one Cupid driving everybody mad. North, south, east, west, the whole world spinning on this principle of eros. Right? So, Madan-Mohan, what does that name mean? How beautiful is Krishna? How seductively charming is Krishna? Kandarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham. If 10 million Cupids merged and personified as one, that would give you a hint of the seductive charm and irresistible sweetness and beauty of Krishna. So necessarily, Madan-Mohan means to break this mundane attachment we have, and to announce in a very inferred way that this possibility, this inconceivable possibility of what Sanyon called the erotic principle and unalloyed devotion, that it will be fully realized in Krishna conception. But Sanatana Goswami so perfectly and just see, and what does he do? How does he tell us this? Through the medium of Gopa Kumar, right? So then, what is the inference? He's saying a similar story could be told in another way, but Sanatana Goswami Prabhu, realizing the inherent problem of that and the tendency for these things to be misunderstood, it's the medium of through a cowherd boy that he tells you everything. So how beautiful, how perfect is his representation.
И в своей истории Брихат Бхагаватам Санатана Госвами пишет повести, он выбирает мальчика Гопа Кумара, обитателя Вриндавана, через путешествие которого по всем мирам
Jayatam
показывает развитие
Shirato
божественной
Bongo Mama
любви.
Manda
И в конечном
Maternity
итоге, пройдя все
Matsarvasva
планы бытия,
Padam
Гопкумар
Dojo
возвращается
Sriradha
сюда, в Вриндаван,
Madana
где
Srila
вкушает
Sanatana
высшее
Goswami
переживание
Prabhu
духовного
Ki
чувства.
Jai.
Hare Krishna. We're going to go to Kaliyahrad. And would you like to say a few more words? Or?
Maybe Madhusudan Maharaj.
Maharaj, I've been with them for many days. Please, now you two.
I want to go to Kaliyahrad and we can
I
speak.
just want to say very short on what you've said. In Mahabharata, the conversation between Yudhishthira, Bhima, and Arjuna, and Krishna was present there. They had debate what's moving people, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. On the end, Bhima said kama.
Yeah.
The tendency, that's what really make people think, their action, the kama. We think dharma, artha, but you know, what kama is like, what do they really desire? So in this case, it's reference to what we were just discussing right now, like kama, the divine kama, we can say, and Kamadev and Madana-Mohan, and out of three deities of Vrindavan, Madana-Mohan is the granting that incredible vision himself. As when a sambandha means he's giving a darshan to reveal his divine beauty and attract
You in that
someone
direction.
towards this direction. That's it.
Hare Krishna.
Haribol.
All right. To Kaliyahrad
Jai.
and Prabodhananda Saraswati.
Will we stop at Samadhi or not?
We.
The Samadhi is right here.
Probably not. But I mean, if we can, if you wish,
See,
we can.
we're going to do, right now I want to go to Kaliyahrad and do Prabodhananda before the sun goes down.
Okay.
But we're going to have other parikrimas in the coming days.
And should we do once the parikram up here and then go
Sure,
down
sure.
that
But let's get...
Jai Madana-Mohan.
Hare Krishna.
Jai.
Jai.
Jai Shri Sanatana Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai.
Jai.
step?
Jai.
Jai Shri Gurudev Ki Jai.
Jai.
Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Madhusudan Maharaj Ki Jai. Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai.